Ayers left, pulls up, looking for the lead, and he got it. Jared Williams, 2 seconds, 1:11, 1:09. Now SGA, probing, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down. The Thunder finally get the defensive stop, and SGA puts them in front.
I'm Kenrich Williams. You're listening to Topic Thunder.
And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Top Thunder Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Huntsinger at Thunder Chats, where you're part of the Believe Network, and this podcast is brought to you by the good folks at FanDuel Sportsbook. I am joined by my co-host, Mike Compatriot, the guy from the West Coast, who I guess, are you rooting for the Seahawks this weekend in the Super Bowl, Dolan?
So I was raised a Cowboys fan. Like, I've witnessed many games of my uncles and my dad and my grandparents being really disappointed at Cowboys games.
Yeah.
I haven't watched much football this year. I've watched maybe a couple total NFL games this whole season, so I'm not really rooting. Might not totally even watch the Super Bowl. Might flip it on and off or something. But yeah, I guess generally, if the people around me are happy, that's a better experience for me than if they're all bummed out. And since I don't really care, go Hawks.
It'd probably be good for the community. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. As you can tell, though, we have Dolan here on the pod. It's a Dolan pod. It's a late night on I guess it's, what is it? Yeah, Saturday morning. God, my brain is not here. So, Dolan's going to be doing the heavy lifting on this one because me and Alex went live recently after the Jared Mccain trade, the trade deadline, to kind of talk about Jared Mccain, his impact on the Thunder, what the Thunder gave up, all these things. But we want to hear some fresh opinions. So we got Dolan on the pod to talk about the Jared McCain and more. After we talk McCain trade, we'll talk, the wider trade deadline stuff and wider Thunder stuff. But Dolan, right off rip, man, what was your initial reaction when you saw the sham wow?
I was not informed that there would be heavy lifting on my part. That was not what I signed up for.
I'm sorry, man. You just got to step into it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was surprised, I think, like everybody else, but I think we all kind of knew. I don't remember exactly why, but I think there were at least rumors. I mean, I know there were pictures of McCain at the airport during the draft workout period. Mm-hmm. So we knew he did a workout. And then I feel like there were all sorts of rumblings about the Thunder liking it. Maybe that was just Andrew saying it and stuff like that. So I guess not surprised that they got him. I'm a little bit surprised that they got anybody, frankly, to fill Oose's roster spot, because I think we all kind of assumed that the plan was just to either trade him and cut who they got back, or just to cut him and then promote Brandon Carlson or carry an empty roster spot. Because it's interesting, next year now we're looking at look at the roster. We now have 15 solid rostered guys and a draft pick or 2 or 3 hypothetically coming in. Who's gone next year is kind of there's not an easy oh, he's gone. You can't just point to somebody automatically and say who it is anymore.
Yeah, and you got 2 guys that haven't even played yet. You don't know what to expect from them. So it presents interesting problems, but hey, good problems to have.
Good problems for sure. Oh no, we have 15 real NBA players who I think are great. Oh no.
We might have 17 or 18. So I will say, on the not surprised that it was Jared McCain, but surprised in the fact that it is a second-year player who, yes, is coming off injury. He's had a quote-unquote down year, still shooting 38% from 3. But last year when he was playing, Minnie was rookie of the year with a bullet. While he was playing, in that stretch before he got hurt, it was he was rookie of the year and nobody else was even thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Even with the injury, he came back. He's played games this season. He's produced this season. Those players usually don't get traded because
he was the 16th pick.
Mm-hmm.
And halfway through his second year, he was traded for whatever 3 seconds and the 23rd pick, something like that. Like who punts? It's an interesting value proposition. Like they're quickly traded down in the draft and delayed a year. That's not ideal. It's. I mean, some people might think they were selling high, but that doesn't seem like it to me.
Dude, that was absurd to me, man. Like Daryl Morey, like I feel
What a
like
thing to say.
dude, I feel like he was on top of the world with the Harden trade, you know, the OKC Harden trade. And I think everything after that, like his approval rating has just gone down and down and down.
Philly fans do not like him.
No,
They
like
do not like him.
I see why. Like, you know, you had most recently the James Harden saying that he was a liar. And then now today.
Twice.
Yeah.
And then he said it again.
But now today he comes out like in the press conference, you know, talking about the trade deadline and stuff and saying that, you know, of course they asked about Jared McCain. He was, as you see, anytime the players are asked about it, like, you know, they get emotional. Like, you know, he was a very important part of that locker room and they believed in his talent and, you know, the person that he was. And, you know, of course they asked Daryl Morey about it. And he was like, I feel very confident that we are selling high on Jared McCain. And like,
I feel quite confident.
Quite confident, yeah, that we're selling high on Jared McCain, which means like you feel like he has exceeded expectations, or like, you know, he's kind of like overperformed.
You feel that his value will only go down from here.
Yeah. And you know, he even he kind of backpedaled a little bit. It's like, okay, maybe last year it would have been like, you know, selling at his absolute highest, but I feel like we're selling high here. And it's like, I hope you eat your words, man, because like, even if you believe that, like in your heart of hearts, that's fine if you hold that opinion. I don't personally, but you are a general manager in the NBA. This is a young man in his second year who battled like coming back from injury to try to come back on your roster and like be a part of your basketball team. You don't say that out loud publicly. That's crazy.
And it's so easy not to. Like you just say, we have all the belief in the world in Jared. It was a tough decision, but we wish him the best.
Yeah.
Simple, quick, easy, clean. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody cares. Nobody is even like down on Morey about it. Like so easy.
Yeah. It's like
a bizarre thing to say.
It's another example of how blessed we are to have Sam Presti at the helm, because Sam Presti would never.
And everybody has said for like years that Morey, the players don't really like Morey because he just sees them as like numbers on a spreadsheet. He's just like all about that. And here he is talking about them like literal stocks, like a stock portfolio. Like, yeah, you have to think about the value of players in that way sometimes, but you have to consider their feelings when you're making public statements too.
Yeah.
You have to be able to play both sides of that, Daryl.
Even not their feelings, like just the perception, like you're tanking like your approval rating even more. Like I've already like it's gone down ever since 2012.
Even if you don't care about their feelings, actually, like to
act like
preserve, to preserve like players' interest in playing for you. Like that's also you can be calculated about that too. If the calculation is the only mode you have, like apply it more broadly, Daryl.
Dang it, Daryl. But yeah, no, it's you know, aside from, you know, what Daryl said, obviously, like, you know, the shock of the Thunder doing a trade like that, the shock of a player like that being traded, but immediately, like, you know, after the shock kind of wears off, like it's kind of gone back and forth. People were speculating. Obviously, this is a long-term play for sure. I think they not even said as much, you know, he's a guy that has a lot of runway. We believe in his development, but he also said, feels like this is a guy that can, I don't remember what his wording was, but basically help us this year as well. So
maybe improve. Was it improve? I don't know.
I can try to look.
It's funny. It's like the Thunder traded up in last year's draft. They used one of the picks to trade up last year. It's a nice trick.
And honestly, they might have even been targeting Jared McCain, and Nikola Topic just fell to 12, and they're like, we can't not take this guy.
Yeah, maybe so. That's probably true. Like they probably thought there was a really good chance Mccain was who they were going to come away with, and that Topic wouldn't be on the board.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably true. That feels right.
Yeah, because I pulled up the draft the other day, just because I was curious about that. Because I think I even said on the last podcast that he was a lottery pick. That's not true. He went 16, so he was just outside a lottery pick. But so that was like 4 picks away. And let me see here. So the Thunder was Topic. Then after that was Devin Carter, then Bub Carrington, Khalil Ware, and Jared McCain. So based on Devin Carter's limited offensive anything, I don't think the Thunder were going to take him. Bub Carrington was actually a guy that I was pretty high on, so he might have been somebody. Khalil Ware, I don't think the Thunder were ever looking at, just because of what we're seeing now. Like, there's clearly something going on in terms of like his work ethic, off court stuff, because Spo doesn't even want to play him. And then next pick was Jared McCain. So I think there's credence to that theory.
Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, it's cool. Just obviously we know he's a shooter. That's like his main trait, I think, which is awesome. He's a quick release shooter. Like some of these movement threes, I don't know. Like Isaiah Joe is an awesome shooter, and he's pretty good at the movement stuff, but his release, it's faster this year than it was before, but it's still not anything close to as fast as McCain's. Like he can get these threes off anytime he wants, and it's just going to be really exciting to see somebody who has that skill set playing for this team, because it's something we've been missing for a long time. Now, obvious questions on whether he can stay on the court on defense. I think that's kind of like considered his flaw right now, is that he's not a very good defender, but I think the Thunder are really good at coaching guys up on that. So hopefully they can turn that around. And if nothing else, like he has the defensive support around him, like nobody else in the league will have. Kind of thought for a while that maybe they can afford to play a little bit of a negative defender for an offensive trade-off, considering how strong the rest of the team is on defense. So maybe we'll get to see that. Hopefully he plays a lot of minutes the next few games while there's no other ball handlers healthy.
No, absolutely. And, the defense is the obvious concern. The size also is a concern, which, kind of plays into the defense. But, I was talking to Cone about it the other day. He didn't get to come on the pod because, NBA content creator, day of the trade deadline, pretty busy. But I was talking to him about it, and he said, obviously he's not like a great positional defender because, his brother is a big Sixers fan. So he's, pretty tapped into Jared McCain, but he's got quick hands. He's got good hands. It's not Casey Wallace or anything like that, but he's a guy that, that's how he's been able to make it by his whole career. He's been undersized his whole career, his whole basketball career, and that's how he's been able to make it work. So I, feel pretty optimistic, even if he doesn't become a average defender overnight, like we have the defensive infrastructure around him to, be able to survive, with the stretches with him on the floor. But I did show this video on the pod last time, but I don't know if you got a chance to see it, so I wanted to pull it up. My guy Jace posted this on Twitter, and this is like an underrated part of McCain's shooting is the quick release. Like, look how quick he gets these shots off. 0.5 seconds or less on all these releases. And like some of them, like he's fully like turning the other way, and it's just like one motion. Like, we don't have anybody that can shoot like that quick. Like, that's Anthony Morrow stuff, Dolan.
Yeah. You mean the fastest gun in the West?
The fastest gun in the West. Jared McCain would like a word.
Yeah, very exciting. And I wonder if, like, between having him and Topic, like, does that signal a little bit of a desire to go a little bit more offensive slanted in the future, or if they are just doing BPA and like they'll make the team work however the players come. I don't know what the philosophy is there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like leaning more offensive slanted, and more so like it's okay to have an offensive slanted player on the floor because everybody else is like a good enough defender to like, I guess insulate them. Because, the defense has been fine. Even if in our roughest stretches this year, like the defense, like you look at the rating and the metrics, like it's in like the twos, the threes, even the ones, like it hasn't dipped down below 5, I think, in any like 10-game stretch this year. It's always the offense that's struggling a little bit. So you can definitely see how that would help out.
And I tweeted about this, but it's like if he can be an Isaiah Joe replacement, like just thinking about the future, because I'm really excited, I think more than anything, to see him play with iHeart. Because all the like dribble handoff stuff, like between the legs, bounce passes,
he loves that thing.
All that stuff that he did with Dante DiVincenzo in New York, who had a career year playing next to him. Like Isaiah Joe, they've really tried to get him to do that stuff, and he's done okay, but it's not natural, and his release, frankly, just isn't quick enough to really capitalize on that stuff. Because like you got a guy chasing you from 3 feet behind you. If you don't have a quick release, that advantage is just erased as soon as you get the ball. So I think Mccain can really do that stuff. So I'm really excited to see him play with iHeart. And then that kind of leads me into thinking about future seasons, which we already know like this decision point is coming with, are they going to keep iHeart or like drop a couple other rotation players if they want to stay like nearish or under the second apron, like the math can work. And if the answer is, well, 11 million from Isaiah Joe is an option to be moved now because he's no longer our only shooter, like it makes the picture a lot clearer. Because you take 11 million from him, if you can get iHeart to do like a 4 for 80, and then like you just have to lose really one other rotation player, and you're under the second apron even next year, which would be huge.
Yeah.
To just delay that for an extra season, because we want this to stay for whatever 7 or 8 more years or whatever.
As long as we can make it happen, man. Keep that core together. It's great having.
I know that's way out ahead of everything, because like we haven't even seen him play. I have no idea if he can be an Isaiah Joe replacement, but like that's the kind of player he could be, and it would really simplify a lot of things. In the same way that like before the season we were saying, if Sorber comes out and he's awesome, like it would really make a lot of decisions simpler. But that's not on the table anymore.
I'm going to ask you this: if he is a guy that like steps into the Isaiah Joe role, and he's a worse defender than Zay, because I will say, like, one thing that Isaiah Joe has really improved on, he's improved on a lot of things since he got here, but one thing he's really improved on is his defense. So if he's a worse defender than Zay, but he is, equal to better shooter, in addition to being like, a solid playmaker, a guy that can, kind of get paint touches and create his own shot, is that a more valuable player for you?
Yeah, I think so, especially considering the number of other defenders. But then you have to then what happens with Topic? Like, would you ever want to play a Topic, McCain, AJ lineup? Like, probably
so
not.
small.
So, right. So, like, there's more dominoes that fall off a decision like that. But, I don't think I would ever want to play a Topic, AJ, Joe lineup either. Like, like Joe's not very big anyways. He's a decent defender, but he's not going to be guarding wings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Very interesting.
AJ's a good defender too. He's just
he's
on
good.
The smaller size.
Yeah. And I have no idea if Topic can defend. I kind of lean no at this point, but who knows? I don't know if he'll ever be good. We don't know anything.
He's a stock guy. He was getting some stocks in the summer league, but positionally he was still getting burnt a little bit.
Did you see Fred Katz's little story? It was like a paragraph. The Thunder also made a trade, and I have no idea what the guy's name is. For a European center's draft rights from Utah for like $900,000. It reminded me of Tibor Pleiss. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, Thunder picked up this guy named Tibor Pleiss in the Kendrick Perkins trade, when they also got when they also shipped out Reggie Jackson, they brought in Cantor and Singler and Augustine, all those guys. But they picked up the draft rights, took any of Tibor Pleiss, and there was like a couple years there where we were like, he's going to come over and, maybe be a backup center, like great pickup under the radar. No, never happened. Just draft rights. But anyway, so the Thunder did that, and Fred Katz posted an interesting little article where he said this is under the radar, but what it may signal is the Thunder preparing to go into the second apron, because one of the separate second apron rules is it's about the touch rule. Like you can't touch with certain things anymore, but one of the things you can do it with is a different player's a draft right, a player's draft rights. So it's like useful if you're in the second apron, and the Thunder didn't have any of those. So
nice. Just give yourself a little bit more versatility.
Good little idea. Yeah. So whether they do it, you can keep those draft rights forever. So whether that is a preparation for this next season, which that is one potential thing that could happen. They could be in the second apron next season, or whether that's 2 or 3 seasons down the road. Be nice to have this guy's paperwork.
Yeah, you want to know something funny about Tibor Pleiss?
Yes.
He had another Thunder teammate that he played with over in Europe. In a very similar situation to Tibor Pleiss.
A very similar situation? And yeah, I have no idea.
Vasilija Micic.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is because whenever Micic was like actually coming over and I was looking up highlights, he had like a couple like really nice plays with Tibor Pleiss, and I was like, all right. I remember that guy. Micic, what could have been? Yeah, no. Yeah, Alex was talking about that guy. I think it was his name Bolsa.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think he's at risk of being over.
No, I mean, I don't even know that he's really that good. I just know he's a bigger guy. He played college ball at Florida State. And he was on the Pistons Summer League team in 2022. That's the last thing that I know of him historically. In terms of his American basketball playing career. So, I mean, hey, it'd be interesting if he was to come over, but like you said, we already have a log jam, trying to get other talent in here, which, kind of bleeding into that, talking about other trade deadline stuff. This came in the 11th hour of the trade deadline, but Zubac being traded to the Pacers, further making the Clippers a less formidable team in the Western Conference, with Harden gone and now Zubac gone, and possibly strengthening that Thunder pick to we was having dreams of being top 3 last year, early in the season.
They just beat the Kings tonight too, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Brody, man, why can't you do that? It is the Kings though. Kings are pretty bad.
They're bad.
Kawhi can carry
mostly by accident, which is so sad. There's all these teams fervently trying to tank, and they can't catch the Kings, who are trying to win by all accounts.
That's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think we're getting in top 3, but it's still an unprotected pick. So if we could get that,
I'm just happy with they stopped climbing.
Yeah.
Give us the 12th pick every year. That's what I thought we were going to have. Whenever all this started, 4 years ago, I was like, we may never get the number 1 pick out of all these picks, but we're going to end up with the 12th pick every year for the next decade. And that's a nice spot to be when you're the best team in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do just want to I tweeted this out already, but I just want to give a shout out to the Clippers. Finally just accepting that you've lost the trade and making the best out of a bad situation. I think that the Hall Darius Garland, Ben Mathurin, 2 firsts, 2 seconds for Harden and Zubac is a great return, in my opinion.
And that Pacers first, I can't believe the Pacers did that. That's so risky.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to have a coin flip at losing their pick that they just had this year from hell from. Like they just had this awful season. One of the saddest things I can remember for a fan base to like go to game 7 of the NBA finals and then your guy tears his Achilles and then your guy who's been on the team for a decade leaves to your rival and then you just suck all year. And you get Zubats out of it. Like that would be so depressing. But so they'll have a coin flip at that happening, and I just can't believe they took that risk. Yeah. It's insane to me.
It's very interesting how that's going to play out because I think Zubats is a good player. It'll be interesting to see him with Howie next year. Like obviously pick and roll like will be nice. You know, the screen setting will probably be nice for him, but he does not provide the floor spacing that Miles Turner provided. So it will be a different dynamic.
Yeah, but he's good, and I like whatever. I don't. They don't have Mathurin anymore, who we know is big, and like he had a 27-point game in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Spark plug guy, Miles Turner. So it's Miles Turner for Zubats, straight up, basically, minus Mathurin. And then like if they don't get the pick, like they're just a worse team than they were. They're just a worse team. Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
McConnell's like probably close to retiring at this point. So like if they don't get the pick, dude, just a bad situation. I feel terrible for their fans. But if they get the pick, then great. Then they're adding, you know, the third best player in this draft to that young core, and everything's great.
No, they can't get the third best player. They can get the 5th through 9th best player.
No, the Pacers. It's the other way around.
Oh, yeah, it is my fault. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's late over here, Dolan. That's my
just
excuse.
A crazy risk to take to me. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it is weird. Do you think that they're going to continue to try to tank, or do you think that they're going to play Zubats and try to make a push for the play-in?
Oh, they already said. By the way, he's been playing on a bad ankle since December, so we're going to sit him for a while till he gets healthy.
Lovely.
Yeah, sure. The Wizards already said AD's out for the season.
I did
the
see
tanking
that.
This year is like next level. Like teams are going all out. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Wizards traded for Trae Young and AD.
The Jazz are like playing Lauri Markkanen like till halfway through the third quarter and then benching him.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder never did anything like that.
No,
like they milked injuries and like held maybe the worst you could say is like they held Shea out for like an extra week on his rolled ankle, and
we sent
3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. They sent out Horford home. that's the one. But like that teams do that.
Mm-hmm.
Playing a guy half of his normal minutes and then just being like, oh, this game's close, so to take all the good players out the rest of the game. That's like last game of the season tanking shenanigans. Like Thunder versus Clippers, like that game.
The Josh
Hall game. They're going to do it for the last third of the season. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
And it's not just them. Like, I don't mean to single Utah just because like I want their pick. There's like 5 or 6 teams that are being just completely blatant about it this year in a way that I just don't think we've seen before.
No, absolutely. So obviously, like, talking about the trade deadline, this was like, I think I saw something that said this was the most trades in a trade deadline. Really? I think Mark Stein tweeted it out. Yeah. And like, also, let me see if I can pull up the tweet actually, because it's an interesting graphic and it doesn't feel right because I know that one where Woj tweeted out, good Lord, like, that was obviously like a crazy deadline too, but I know I saw. Okay, yeah. So he said deadline week, a record 73 players traded and a record 28 trades. This is in the 7. Yeah. So this is 7-day period of the deadline. So right, Monday, Tuesday, was it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like the 3 days of the deadline was just crazy. Like it was like big trade after big trade after big trade. I just want to ask you, Dolan, kind of looking at our competition, we already talked about the Pacers, more for like a next year thing, but almost every team in the league made a trade. I think there was like 3 teams that didn't make a trade. What
That
team?
true?
Yeah. I think so. The
I feel like
Rockets
there's a
didn't
lot
make
more.
a trade.
Oh well, I get okay because you have guys like Denver dumped one of their fringe guys to duck the tax.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of tax ducking, which is how the Thunder got Mccain, by the way. Shout out Paul George.
The gift that keeps giving.
Did you put that together? Yeah, did you put that together? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, because I saw your tweet. That was your matter of fact comment. Got like 8,000 likes.
Yeah, if so, Paul George got his 25-game PED suspension, so it cost him like $11 million or something, and half of that gets to come off the Sixers tax bill. So that half of it got them close enough to the tax that McCain got them all the way under. So I don't think if that Paul George suspension hadn't happened, I don't think they would have traded McCain.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't have been their solution to get them under the tax. It would have had to have been like McCain and Drummond, at which point you like need to replace a center and then you're down a guard too. And that's just like a lot. Or like Oubre and Drummond or Oubre and McCain. And I just like, I don't know, like, or maybe just Oubre, who is a better player right now or a more useful player to them this year. Like, I don't know. I don't think it would have happened without the suspension. I think Paul George got us Jared McCain.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, man. I'm telling you. It was fun while he was here. It was fun when he left, and it's still fun. So
he got the Clippers James Harden, who is now gone, and we have their pick still next year from that trade.
Yep. I'm telling you, man. He's one of the biggest helps for the Thunder in the most recent years. So
anyway, I'm sorry. You were working up to a question, I think.
I was just asking, was there any trade made to I guess not a rival, so to speak, just like, a challenger to our contention that doesn't scare you, but you do think makes that team better?
Well, I mean, the obvious one is the Wolves getting Io.
Yes.
I mean, he's the only, and it's obvious not because I'm like particularly scared of it. I think he's a worse player than Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So it's still like so it's still like a step back from where they were last year, in my opinion, but it's better than they were before. And so it's obvious not in a like, oh, that's obviously scary way, but it's obvious because like none of the other teams did do that at all, did they? At least in the West. Like, I guess it would be like the Knicks got Alvarado, Cleveland got James Harden. Like, those are the kind of two in the East. But in the West, was there literally any other team besides the Wolves who got even marginally better?
Lakers got almost a 50% three-point shooter this year.
They got Luke Kennard down the court. So that's it, right? They're the only one who did something.
I believe so, yeah.
I was thinking about this. Do you remember like
the Celtics
earlier
got
in the
Vucevic,
season
though, in the East?
Whatever. Whatever, dude. Vucevic, get out of here. I mean, like, yeah, okay, fine. I guess like compared to who their centers were, he's probably better. But
and the Warriors got Porzingis.
That was just also tax ducking. The Warriors got Porzingis. What are you doing right now?
Just naming teams and players.
I said 3 teams that got better. Do you remember earlier in the year when the Thunder were like 24-1 or something, and there was all this chatter on all the national podcasts about like, are the Thunder just so good that teams should just like try to wait them out? Like, is it even worth like teams are like, well, I don't know if we're going to push our chips in this year because like how good the Thunder are. Maybe we should just wait until they chill out a little bit. And there was, of course, a lot of pushback on that from fans of other teams. And frankly, I thought it was a little bit silly too, because like, of course not. Like the Thunder, if Shea gets hurt, you're going to wish you had pushed your chips in. Like, of course not. You don't just punt a season because the other team is good. Like the 73-1 Warriors, like teams weren't punting the season. The Thunder traded for Carmelo Anthony and Paul George to try to compete with them. Like, no, you don't just punt. But having said that, if the mindset across the league had been, we're not going to push all our chips in because the Thunder are so good, would it have looked any different than this trade deadline? Like, is that like that's exactly what it looked like happened? I know like the Wolves were trying to get Giannis, so like they were not punting. However, they didn't get him, so like effectively, it's that same thing. Like nothing, there was no upheaval. No team rose to meet the Thunder to be like, we are now significantly better than we were before, and you should be scared of that.
Yeah.
It was basically status quo. And for the team that's on top of the pile, like status quo is the best thing you can hope for.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you know, of the pile of like contenders, you know, we were the one that probably made the most significant move. So like
Probably, or at least the most like, yeah, the most potentially significant move, right? Like if his like was 75th percentile outcome on the team or whatever is like a legitimate rotation piece or maybe even like a starter, you know, if he becomes as good as his rookie year looked like he would end up being rookie of the year, like you're thinking maybe all-star down the line. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah, I mean, that's a better outcome than Dosunmu, who is what he is at this point.
Yeah. I will say like Dosunmu is even a guy that I would have liked that, you know, before the Mccain trade, I wanted the Thunder to pursue because his 3-point shooting is good. You know, he's an adequate defender. He's got length for his position, and he's a good playmaker. So, like, you know, I do think that that's the move that I was kind of thinking when I made the question. That's someone I was going to say, and you took it. So, I mean, hey, great minds think alike type of thing. But
well, it's the only one.
Yeah, really. Really, yeah.
And the Thunder could have, if the cost was like 4 seconds or something, the Thunder could have had him if they wanted him.
Yeah, what did it ended up being Rob Dillingham in 3 seconds, I think.
Yeah, so the Thunder could have had that if they wanted him, but they chose Jared McCain over that trade.
Who's to say they wasn't going to target Ayu Dosunmu, and then it was like, oh wait, Jared McCain's available?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
could be
definitely possible.
I know Daryl's selling high, but like we have all these picks, so I guess we can just do it anyways.
Yeah, and then the Timberwolves not getting Giannis. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I like if I'm in the minority on this. I kind of wanted the Timberwolves to get Giannis just because they were going to purge all their depth.
Yes, you're in the minority. I'm sorry. No, I would not have liked to see Anthony Edwards and Giannis and Antetokounmpo on the same team in the playoffs. That's not on my wish list.
But they would have had to get rid of Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Julius Randle. It would, and then, you know, on top of that, Dillingham, like they already traded, maybe even Terrence Shannon Jr.
That's fine.
They wouldn't have had nobody.
That's too big of a wild card. And then, like, you know, even if it doesn't work this year, like then they put pieces around them next year. Like it's a problem in the future.
Yeah. Did you see the thing about
that's the
Giannis?
only thing that like scares me about like this dynasty is if one of these other teams, like the Lakers, have a bunch of cap space this year. Like if the Lakers can put another like top 5 NBA player next to Luka, like that's the only that kind of thing that I think can really consistently compete with the Thunder for the next like 5 years.
Yeah. Did you see the Giannis thing today?
Oh, the Leo pick, the Leo video.
No. Where he he tweeted out today that he's I guess he's a what's the word? I guess he's like a what is the word that they used? Hang on. I gotta find it. He is a shareholder. God, I couldn't get there. He's a shareholder with Kalshi, which is, you know, like a prediction model app now. And people are up in arms because, you know, all the rumors was that Giannis requested a trade and everything. And, you know, Kalshi had odds about like, will Giannis stay? Will he get traded? What team will he get traded to? And now, like, you know, people are saying that it was all just a ruse. So, you know, people would bet like Giannis is going somewhere and like all that money would go to Kalshi. And Giannis was like in his mind, because, you know, he's came out in the past couple of days and denied that he ever requested a trade. was doing it to like get money into Kalshi. So it's a conspiracy theory going on, Dolan.
No, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I just think it's inconspicuous timing, but that was weird. It is
conspicuous.
Yeah, it is weird seeing the whole like it came out like multiple. I think even Chris Haynes reported it. Like obviously, like he has beef with Shams at this point, but I even think Chris Haynes reported that Giannis is like looking for a new team. Like he's signaled that like it's time for both sides to part ways. And now the trade deadline's passed. He's like, I'm not effing leaving. I was never gonna leave. And Thanasis is saying all this stuff, and it's weird.
Yeah, well, Chris Haynes also said the Thunder are taking Jabbar with the second pick. So.
He deleted it immediately, Dolan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So looking at tomorrow. The only people out tomorrow, aside from Topic and Sorber, who've been out all year,
are all the people who can dribble.
Yeah, Shea, Dub, and AJ Mitchell. But everybody else is back. All our bigs are back. Our big man rotation's back. Our defenders are out there, and Jerry Mccain is slated to make his debut. Dolan.
Very exciting. And he's got to play. He has to play.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mark today said like we don't know if he's going to play or not. He's going to play. He has to play. It's like Wiggins can dribble. They can't play a whole game without dribbling. That won't work. That would be hard.
I feel like that might have been how they used to play it, like back when basketball was just like pass.
There's definitely like coaches, like high school or like junior high coaches who have been like no dribbling for this for possession. Like you guys have to pass, and the coaches who are like you must pass 3 times or 5 times or
before
whatever
you
shoot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do that.
That'll be
the strategy. No, McCain has to play. He has to play like 25 minutes too. Like I'm not even joking. So very cool that he's going to just get tossed into the fire. I'm going to really enjoy that. I hope he makes a 3-pointer. I hope he does a dance after. It's going to be very fun.
Yeah, they asked him what's his 3-point celebration. He's like, I just hold up the 3. So
his 3 painted fingernails.
Yeah, the German 3 as well.
He does the German 3.
He does.
All right. Cool.
A
lot of them do that. Like that's what
Dub does it too.
Isaiah Joe does for his mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Dub does the 3 on his forehead.
And what's your number for 3-point attempts? How many 3-point attempts do you want Jerry McCain to have tomorrow?
14.
14.
5. 4. 4.
4. Okay.
4.
I would like 7. To see 5. Okay.
I would love to see 7, but
7 would be great.
I'm gonna say 4.
I'd love to see.
I just want him chucking. I want a guy who is chucking. That's what I want to see. We just need some more attempts, especially if all our guys who can dribble are out.
All right. I will say, looking at FanDuel right now, the odds are up for tomorrow's game. The spread is out. Dolan with the Rockets.
What do we got?
They are healthy. We have no Shea, no Dub, no AJ. What do you think?
I'm sorry. Is it at home?
Ooh, it is at OKC, yes.
The Rockets have been doo-doo lately.
Yeah, they have. They lost to the G League Celtics by like 20 points.
I don't know. Thunder 1.5. Like, what do we got?
-4 for OKC.
4? Damn. Rockets really have been doo-doo lately.
Yeah, that's a crazy spread,
crazy.
Honestly.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, 4 with the 3 best ball handlers out.
And especially because, we've beat the Rockets the past 2 games. They've both been close games. And it feels like, especially them, trying to bounce back from bad performances. Like, this is a Thunder team who can't dribble. Like, let's take advantage.
Totally. Yeah, and the Rockets love ball pressure. I mean, but then again, Vegas probably thought they were going to, try to bounce back last game, and then they got smacked around the game. So, I don't know.
We're not doing that again.
Vegas might just be confidence shaken on the Rockets. That's probably that line's probably more about the Rockets than it is about us.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I will say they are yet to have Jared McCain lines right now, just because, like Dolan said, Daignault is, playing it cool on if he's actually playing or not. But keep track, tomorrow before the game starts, and maybe Jared McCain lines will appear, magically. At least halftime they'll probably be on there.
Yeah,
if he plays.
I think we're gonna be. I still think, I know this Shea injury came up annoyingly, but I think we're still gonna be coming out of the All-Star break like at full health.
Mm-hmm.
Just like last year, except AJ Mitchell last year. But it's going to be very cool to see everybody all back together again.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said with to Alex on the pod last, the last time we potted. That we was looking at the stretch of the schedule and it being like the toughest stretch in the season for us, with like the quality of opponents, the the lack of rest in between games and whatnot. And this is a roundabout way to kind of get out of it. Obviously they're playing Chet and Ihart and them in the Rockets game, but if they were
get out of it, you just might have to sacrifice 2 or 3 wins, which luckily we can afford it.
We've got a little bit of a cushion. Like, get your guys healthy, get your guys rest. Coming out All-Star break, bring back Shea, bring back Dub, bring back AJ, and just kill the league. Like, I think that's a great plan. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm with it. All right, yeah, Dolan, I think that covers about everything. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we jump off this podcast?
No, I don't have anything else to add. I hope Shea's back soon. I hope he really is back right after the break. Because, that's the only thing that can prevent him from getting his second straight MVP, which would be a really cool thing that I would like. So fingers crossed that his abdominal strain is not so bad, but it is. It's very encouraging. Like, I've seen a lot of people comparing it to be like Paolo and Franz last year. They missed like 30 games or whatever, but those were tears. And I know like a strain is technically a tear. It's just a very mild tear technically, but they used the word strain. And I think probably they would have said like reevaluated in 2 weeks or 1 to 2 weeks or something. But since the All-Star break's right there, they were just like, whatever, just say after the All-Star break. But I think the initial like announcement of it's going to be at least 3 weeks and then we'll reevaluate kind of spooked people. Yeah. So I don't think it's serious, but that might just be wishful thinking. I don't know.
Did you see Alex's video of I guess before the Denver game, whenever he like kind of went?
Oh yeah, that he like hopped. He was like did a shoulder bump on somebody and kind of winced. Yeah, I did see that.
So hey, he dropped 37 and 13 on it. Like, it can't be that bad. My conspiracy theory was that the Thunder was trying to let him play through it, because they not even said like Shea would rather be out there playing. Like even still, like even going through the injury, he would like to be out there playing. But the Magic game, he started off good. His playmaking's been great. Like, we talk about his playmaking. But like scoring wise, it started off good, but then it was like, oh, this game is going to be over quick. I got to get my 20. And it felt like, he was struggling. Like, he was, missing shots that he normally hits. He wasn't getting, finishing through contact like he usually did. And it was like, it felt uncomfortable on it almost. And so it felt like, that the Thunder was like, all right, that's the signal. Like, just take these next couple weeks, take the All-Star break, rest up, get right, and then come back. And
yeah. And I think they also we saw the injury report before that game, and we all thought they were going to punt the Magic game and then play the Spurs game. But I think they made the opposite decision. Obviously, they made the opposite decision, and I think they went with let's try to get some guys consecutive days off. So Shea take off till the All-Star break, but even Chet, Ihart, Caruso, they all got 3 consecutive days off because of skipping the Spurs game and then having 2 days off. I think it's easy to forget that these guys played 105 games last season and had a short off season. They're all dinged up because they're exhausted, and yeah, I think, it would be nice to get the 1 seed by 15 games again or whatever, but I think it's much better to just get the 1 seed and have a rested team going into the playoffs. And it seems like they've shifted that in their priorities within the last few weeks. So, yeah, hopefully coming out of the All-Star break, everybody's healthy and they can kind of go at it a little bit more in the last third of the season. But it's nice to bank some rest for these guys because they need it.
Yeah, I made the point. I pulled up the stats in the last pod that Shea and Anthony Edwards, it's pretty close. I don't have like the exact numbers, but if you're looking at just like the upper echelon of the league, like top 7, 8 players, those two guys have played more games in the past 3 seasons than anybody else in the league, just because durability and how long they've play into the playoffs. So Shea deserves a break. Like that's kind of what it comes down to. So hopefully, like you said, he'll be back after the All-Star break. Hopefully, Dub's reevaluation comes up soon. And they didn't announce a timeline at AJ Mitchell, did they?
No, they haven't said anything. He's getting super close. There was clips of him shooting.
Yeah, he was practicing today,
like looking totally normal. He's getting really close.
But
at this point, it's like with abdominal strains or like hamstrings or whatever, like if you're going to bring a guy back to play the last 2 games before the All-Star break, you might as well just give him another 2 weeks off with these soft tissues things. Like, don't risk a recurrence for 2 more games when you can really like make 115% sure that this thing's gone by giving him 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see Dub or AJ until after the All-Star break either. But I feel like very confident that they'll both be back for that Brooklyn game on the first game back.
Right. Do you think
I'm less confident than that with Shea, but I feel pretty good about it.
Do you think that missing the Spurs game, obviously, like you said, getting those guys consecutive days rest, do you think it was also a little bit of gamesmanship? Like, all right, we finally won with a healthy roster. We have like a game plan to beat you. We don't want to like show you any more of what we got.
I guess it could be. Honestly, my first thought was like whenever they first announced that Shea would be out, and then we knew AJ and Dub would be out. Honestly, my first thought was like, this is gonna be terrible for Chet. Because we all know what Wemby like goes out of his way to do to Chet, and it's not really a fair fight because Wemby's insane. And so like if it's that game, and then we also are like, Chet, please like do some primary playmaking stuff, like it was gonna be ugly. So I'm glad they dodged that bullet personally. But yeah, maybe that was their rationale. Sure. Let's go with that.
I like it. All right, man. That is I think that is all that I have for the pod today. We talked about a lot. Vibes are high, very excited to see Jared McCain's debut tomorrow. And, after that, we'll have, 3 games left before the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 games left before the All-Star break. And then
Shea won't.
Bucks, yeah. Yeah, Shea won't be playing in the All-Star game, but we'll still get to see Chet representing the Thunder out there. So that'll be fun to see.
That's the other thing. Like, I know they said he'll be reevaluated after the All-Star game. Are we sure he's not going to play? They haven't announced his replacement yet.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they announce his replacement? I guess the international team was like 1 heavy, weren't they? After
yeah, they did have an extra.
So maybe they won't.
Yeah, and maybe they're going to announce Şengün, but then he had that game the other day, and it was like, maybe not.
We got to find another one.
Yeah. It's like, is Josh Giddey healthy yet? Let's bring him in there. That's what's up. Giddey was actually probably going to be an all-star if he didn't get hurt this year.
Yeah, I guess. What happened to him? Is he dead? Like, he's been out for so long.
Is he dead? Is crazy.
He's been out for so long.
He has been. I don't know what his injury is. Let me see. Josh Giddey. I clicked on an article instead of just going to Basketball Reference, so this was dumb. What hamstring injury? Left hamstring strain.
How's it going around?
He will miss his 5th consecutive contest. So,
oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it's been like an in and out type of thing.
I guess I'm not paying attention to the Bulls.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah. Oh, also, I did want to bring this up because a bunch of people was talking about it. Today it was announced that the Minnesota Timberwolves are bringing back Mike Conley Jr. After they traded him away.
Weird. That feels wrong.
Yeah, everybody.
I know it's like a loophole because you're allowed to, if you touch a third team, you can do it. And then I knew that, I was aware of that, but I don't think it's ever. I think Iguodala did it once, or no, there was rumors that Iguodala wanted to do it. So people were with the Warriors. So people were like, that's when I learned that rule. People were talking about it a lot. So I don't know if it's ever happened before, but it definitely feels like it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah,
the lot like the Wolves didn't that would take such a level of collusion for them to arrange those steps, to get the team to agree to then trade him to another team. But why wouldn't they? Why couldn't they do that?
They absolutely could. And I mean,
not going to matter because he's washed. So whatever. But he's
it's more of like a locker room type thing. Yeah,
it's for the clubs.
Yeah, because I don't know what his contract was, but obviously I know everybody was using the language of salary dump, so it must have been something larger than the vet minimum, which is what they probably signed him for. So, yeah,
for sure,
it's very weird. But all this means is this opens the door to bring Ousmane Dieng back if he is released from the Bucks. So there you
go. That actually did occur to me. Is he eligible for a two-way? No, not with the Thunder.
I know. That would have been really fun. Hey, I was more excited for the prospects of Ousmane Dieng at Chicago than I am Milwaukee, but I'm interested to see what he can do.
I would not have seen him play for either team unless they played the Thunder.
I'm not gonna watch him. I'm just gonna keep track.
Are you?
Yeah.
You gonna keep track?
I try to keep track of the whole league.
Look up the stats.
Yeah, I try to keep track of the whole league, brother.
Oh yeah, looks like he played 8 minutes tonight. Good for him.
Did he really? I saw he didn't play.
No, I'm no.
Oh, okay. You're just okay. It's too late for me to catch on bits, man. So, all right. I think that is a good end to the pod. Ousmane Dieng victory cigar on the pod. So, with that being said, Dolan, appreciate you coming on. Good to see you again. Been a little bit since we had
you. Hope I lifted heavy enough.
Hey, you did great, man. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and subscribe to the pod. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when we go live. Like the video. Yeah, mash that button. Drop Jared McCain score predictions in the comments. Let us know what you think he'll score. Don't know if he plays. How many points he's scoring?
Well, he's gonna make 4 threes, so 17.
17 points in the Thunder debut would have Twitter abuzz, I'm sure.
It's going down.
You know what? I'm just gonna say I gotta be more optimistic again. I'm gonna say 18. I got to. Which, hey, by the way, we didn't bring up Jared McCain.
I like my half of the over under better there.
Yeah, that's fair. Jared McCain picked number 30, so we officially have our own Steph Curry on the team.
Yay!
All right.
That's my number, by the way. That was my high school number before Steph Curry made it famous. So
it is in your email, so I believe you.
That's right.
With that being said, y'all have a great night. God bless. Hoping you can. And as always, Thunder up.
Thunder up.